Go ahead.
So we are walking along Camp Street now, and of course the Newman building was much smaller than the building you see here. So there were multiple buildings in this spot that they wiped out to build this monstrosity that we have now. But I wanted to show you the location. There was a little bar right here called the Katzenjammer bar. And this is where basically the Jim Garrison case, if you watch the movie JFK, this is where it began. Because the night of the assassination, Jack Martin and Guy Banister, Jack Martin worked in the Newman building with all the rest. He was carrying on the cover of the Newman building, which was that Guy Banister had a private eye business. And Jack Martin was his private eye guy. He didn't have a lot of work, because that's not really what Guy Banister was involved in. But anyway, they were friends, and they came to this little bar that night, and they were drinking, and of course they were watching on TV all the coverage from Dallas about what had happened with JFK, and they got in a fight. It was raining that night, and they got in an argument, and they were walking back to next door, back to the Newman building, and when they walked in the door, Guy Banister, who was notorious for keeping files, he's from the FBI, and his boss, J. Edgar Hoover, had the most extensive filing system on anybody in the world, right? Well, Guy Banister fancied himself a miniature J. Edgar Hoover, and he had these files, and he had compromising details on everybody that he could use for blackmail and stuff, and those files were off limit to everybody. Well, somebody had left one of the file drawers open, and he thought that Jack Martin did. Of course, he's drunk, and so he starts accusing Jack Martin that night of going through his files, or at least leaving them open. And Jack Martin denied it, and they got in this argument back and forth. And Guy Banister pulls out his .357 Magnum and starts beating Jack Martin over the head with it, and knocks him out. Jack Martin ends up in the hospital. And this is after Martin, and during this time, Martin's yelling at him, "What are you going to do, kill me like you killed Kennedy?" And of course, there weren't any witnesses to this, but this all comes out later in the wash, because when he wakes up in the hospital and the police are there wanting to find out how he was assaulted, he tells them this story about sitting in this bar, drinking with his boss, his friend, going back to the Newman building, getting accused of going through his files, how Guy Banister pulled out the pistol and beat him over the head with it, and how as he's talking to the police, he starts telling them some details about Guy Banister and who's working in that building. And of course, this is the night of the assassination, and they've already made an arrest in Dallas. And this guy, Lee Harvey Oswald, is quickly becoming very famous, and it comes out as he's talking that Lee Harvey Oswald worked in that building all summer. And so, of course, the police are intrigued. They go back and they tell the district attorney, who's Jim Garrison, and now all of a sudden he wants to know exactly what was going on in his city in the run-up to the assassination. And of course, he finds out from Jack Martin that it wasn't just Lee Harvey Oswald who worked there, it was David Ferry. And so David Ferry lives here in town. We're going to visit two of his houses later. He lives here, so he pulls in David Ferry and wants to talk to him. And the story David Ferry gives him is total hogwash, and he sees through it immediately. And right away, Jim Garrison smells a rat. He smells a rat. He thinks something was going on in that building, that Newman building, that is connected to the assassination in Dallas. Of course, we already know that the accused assassin worked there all summer, and now we're finding out that David Ferry works there, and David Ferry is a pilot, and according to Jack Martin, David Ferry was supposed to be the pilot that flew Lee Harvey Oswald out of the country after he assassinated JFK. And so all these pieces are coming together, and Jim Garrison wants to pursue it. And instead, the FBI swoops in, and they interviewed David Ferry after, what he did is he said, "I think you're lying, I'm going to hold you and have the FBI interview you." When the FBI interviewed him, they released him, they gave a public statement saying David Ferry has no connections to the case in Dallas. He was not held overnight because of us, he was held overnight because of Garrison, sort of threw Garrison under the bus. And he drops the case. He doesn't pick it up again for several more years when some new evidence pops up. But his thinking was, well, If the FBI is satisfied, I guess I'm satisfied. But the initial reason why he started looking into this is because of what happened at this Katzenjammer bar, which is 2 doors down from the Newman building, and the beating that Jack Martin took at the hands of Guy Banister. And what came out in the wash as he talks to police is that there's a lot of suspicious things that went on in that building during the summer, including the fact that Lee Harvey Oswald worked there, David Ferry worked there, Clay Shaw was in and out all the time. These are people that Jim Garrison knew and quickly put pieces together that there was a connection from New Orleans to Dallas, and all came out of that Newman building. And the only reason he found out about it is because of some random beating, because Guy Banister got drunk one night and took out his frustrations on his friend Jack Martin. Now, if it hadn't been for Jack Martin, the Jim Garrison case probably never happens. The whole trial, the Clay Shaw trial, the subject of that movie, JFK, probably never happens. But it happens because of what happened in this bar. And somebody got drunk and they said too much, and it led to a beating, and then all of a sudden, all these connections to Dallas that come right out of that Newman building start spilling out. And once they're out, it's hard to put that genie back in the bottle. And years later, when Garrison repicks up the case up again, he just goes back to that point and starts his investigation all over again. And he goes back to this Katzenjammer bar, and Jack Martin and Guy Banister, and the fact that Lee Harvey Oswald and David Ferry worked in that building.